Alright, there's one other way I'm going to show you how to make a foot on the bottom of your mug. I showed you the way of taking a slab, cutting it out. There's a different way of also doing it. Just making a little tripod of it. What I do is I get the bottom a little bit wet. I'm going to score it like I would the same thing, but this time I'm not going to make another piece for it though. Score the inside of it a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand, forming the shape of a triangle, and I'm going to slowly begin to press those sides in. I'm going to slowly begin to press them in. And we're going to work it on the angles in. All I'm doing is I keep pressing and pressing and pinching those pieces together until I have a very small little triangle on the very bottom of the piece. Keep blending that seam, pushing it together. Take a little piece of clay. Just a little piece is all you're going to need, because I have a little teeny tiny hole there, which is not a good thing to have. Get it a little bit wet with some water, kind of push it in there, and just fill it in. I'm going to make sure it's somewhat even, so as I pressed in, I kept it in the shape of a triangle. Flip it over, kind of look on the inside. I make sure I look on the inside of the piece. If I have any little cracks or crevices like that, I can go in here with this tool, kind of blend them all together, so I don't have that problem. So everything's nice and well blended together. You have a nice seam. I have a cool little different style mug shape there. Go over all the seams, blend everything well together. Now what I can do here is I can take my rib in here a little bit. I can go in here and I can kind of push it out or balloon it out a little bit on the sides, so there's a little more volume to it. So change the shape of the mug a little bit. I'm going to work my way around slowly. I'm not pressing super hard. I'm just using that roundness of the rib and cupping it with my hand and blending all the seams together, kind of pushing it out a little bit. But as you can see, it begins to balloon out the cup a little bit and make a little bit different shape, since I've lost some of it because I've pinched in these bottoms. I really want to look in the bottom of them and make sure they're all pinched together really well. No water's going to get through, no seams, no nothing. One more time, working my way around a little bit. I'm kind of working on shaping the cup. I'll fix the lip in a minute. Let's flip it back over here real quick. Make sure this seam is nice and well pinched together. If I want to, I can add some little feet to these. Just take a couple balls of clay, about this size. Make 3 of them. What I do is make sure they fit. One there. Put them onto that seam really good. Something else if I want to make it a little bit taller, or give a little variation of something different onto the piece. Now the last thing I'm going to have to do is kind of clean this lip up. Again, I get a wet sponge. I'm going to go around the edges, try to smooth it out as best I can on the inside. Get rid of that harshness. What I do is I kind of cup it around the lip like this. So it begins to smooth it out. Again, keep working. I'm trying to get as round as you can. The nice thing about it, we got a weird shaped bottom, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll go back in there. Again, look on the inside of your piece. Smooth it out a little more on the inside. Most of those cracks and crevices on the inside will get filled up a little bit, but I want to make sure everything's nice and smooth. Last thing you want to do is you want to add a handle. This one here, I'm going to do a coil handle onto it. Again, remember we talked about it earlier. Shape it up a little bit more here. Since this is when I use the rock pattern, the rock stepper sheet, I'm going to take my coil, kind of roll it along, get a nice little cool pattern texture to it as well. Again, cut some of it off, cut a little more off there, and then make it into the shape of a question mark, put it flat on the table like that, so I have a nice little shape. And then again, you can score it. So this is a demo, so I'm going to do it pretty quick. Add it on that way. I have a little mug shape this way. Something for a little different shape if you want, besides just something round. Give almost that coffee mug shape like look.